Hello, hope you're doing well. My name is Laura Elizabeth. My name is Laura Elizabeth, and I am a hypnotherapist. And I'm also a tarot card reader. And this has been a really amazing journey for me to discover the power of tarot and how I can really implement this into my sessions. So I did have my own unconscious blocks here. I was being very subtle and quiet about it. And I would kind of just pull a couple of cards sneakily at the beginning of a session, of a hypnotherapy session. Or I'd really make use of them when it felt like a client was struggling to talk and they needed some help, some guidance, some direction. Tarot can really help with that because, something like, look at this one, for example, the Hermit. They can be really detailed with the lots of signs and symbols. And so, talking about what resonates for you within this card, that helps you get talking, it helps you open up. And before you know it, you've had this amazing download of information, this insight come through. And then from that, we can do a personalized hypnosis because it will be linked in with what we discussed. So I've just, so another caveat from that is I also do tarot readings by themselves. And from there, the journey makes sense to then book a separate hypnotherapy session. So sometimes, I'll pull a couple of cards at the beginning of a therapy session as part of the talking element uh, part of the session, just enough, and then we already kind of have our idea of what we're going to do, what the hypnosis can be. However, sometimes the message really needs to be explored. So sometimes the tarot reading, it needs to be in of itself in depth and detailed to then explore, okay, is it this hypnosis or is it this hypnosis? So I'm talking this all through with you at the moment because I've just had an in-depth, I've just done a tarot card reading for someone and it was very in-depth. So as usual, I say, for tarot card reading, this was 30 minutes. For hypnotherapy, it's 60 minutes. I nearly always go over because, just right towards the end, an epiphany will happen. Something will hit them and the emotion comes up. I'm not going to then say, right, time's up, for what you've paid for, off you go, I would never do that, just send someone off in such a state. So I allow for extra time to come back down, to really feel those emotions. So they always go over. So yeah, this was a really in-depth, very powerful session. And now I thought I would share with you, while I'm just chatting, the process of what I do next. So I have my singing bowl, and this one is in the colors of the heart chakra, which is very powerful, definitely for this particular reading. It was all about it was all about self-love, connecting with your heart. It was all about affairs of the heart. And this sound it's energy, right? So it can cleanse the space. So this is my home, this is my cozy corner. So I hold space for people and their energies and their emotions. I create that safe space for them to let it all, to be vulnerable. And that's amazing. This is also my home. So after each client leaves, I cleanse the space so then their energy does not stay with me. So I hold it there for in the moment. I send them my energy and I give them strength. And then afterwards, after the session, I cleanse the space so that I can I can read a good book in my cozy corner and be in my energy. So we cleanse the space here. Release what no longer serves us. Cleanse this space. Cleanse it of any negativity. Only love and joy are welcome here. Only positivity and prosperity. Cleanse this space. Cleanse the energy. Thank you. So that's that. And I do that at the beginning of every session as well, so that my energy does not interfere with anyone. I want to put you up. Maybe if I put you on the box. How does that look good? Oh. So this is a very candid shot. That's not going to work. Here we go. So you got my beautiful skylight, the sunshine coming through. Here actually, so here is what I do. I set out all of my packs. I cleanse them, so I place all my different types of crystals. So I get in tune, I connect with my intuition and divine guidance to see what crystals go where. And then from there, that helps people decide. So quite often we can get a little bit stuck on when we're not connected with our intuition and we doubt ourselves and we fight with, oh, do I pick this pack or this pack? Oh no, which decision do I make? It's about releasing that and just going with your gut instinct. And how I advise people to do that is it could be visual. So the colors, the crystal, yeah, different ones will pop out. So I'll just show you and see. You'll completely resonate with the idea of something here will pop out to you and catch your eye, and that's the one we go with because you have chosen it. It's your energy. It's teaching you to connect with your intuition. So this is one of my packs here. This isn't tarot, this is astrology. Oh, this is going to be reversed. Okay, well, it's astrology. And it talks about the different star signs, the different sort of qualities, aspects of each star sign. So I was speaking with my client today. She was asking about what the star signs mean. Say, for example, with the Moonology pack, they mention star signs. So this one's Pisces. It's not always about you being a Pisces. It can be about the energy of Pisces. So feeling that emotion, or maybe it's about someone you're talking about. So maybe they're a Pisces, or it's the energy like a Sagittarius. This is a very fiery energy, a very forward action energy. So that's that. So within my readings, oh my gosh, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will use several different types of cards. So you'll pick out a couple, and then from there, I connect with the energies and my intuition of like, okay, what helps us here. And just as I cleanse the room itself, the space, I cleanse my cards. I cleanse them of energy because at the moment they're connected with the energy of the client. And one of the ways I do that is just to give them a shuffle. So again, like the sound travels. This is kinesthetic. So the action of movement. If you ever feel like people who like to go for a run or do some exercise, they're literally shaking off the tension, shaking off the energy. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm connecting with it again, I'm grounding them, neutralizing them, rubbing off that energy, placing them back on their pack nice and tiny, and then I will actually use some crystals, place them back on top to amplify that cleansing energy. Got my crystals here. I also incorporate crystals. I have a little baggie here, and I'll reset them now until I have my next client. So this is basically they're mostly Scrabble pieces, but they also have this like little trinkets in here as well, and I will add in some crystals. So this is for extra clarification. Say for example, um perhaps we're talking about someone. I pull some letters and their name starts with the letter E. That's one way to clarify things. Or maybe we make a word. So there was one client I had recently. We literally made the word head, and some of the cards were resonating of being stuck in your head. So the sort of saying that was coming through for me was get out of your head. Um, and the client agreed that they ruminated a lot. They overthought so much. So that was coming through. So sometimes it makes you can see a word pops out. And for me, quite often, I hear a saying. So it's the same for the imageries as well. So like for example, the hermit, I saw a deer, and the saying that came to me was deer in the headlights. So then we talked about feeling stuck, feeling frozen, feeling overwhelmed with so many decisions to make. So that's how it comes through. I learned a lot actually. I already knew, but it helped to learn within my hypnotherapy to help people understand. Drop the terminology. Don't be talking about subconscious and hypnosis and trance and autopilot and um, I've dropped a lot of them now. I'm trying to think of all those like GAD or whatever it was, guided imagery, or there's like so many different terminologies. I'm sure if you study anything, there's different terms and stuff. Drop all of that and think of ways that people can connect with and understand. Because the thing is, if you have a block with someone, they're not going to be open. And if you make people feel stupid, like they don't understand, like there's confusion, then you've got a block there. And that's what I was finding when I first qualified as a hypnotherapist. I still, my dissertation was fresh in my brain. So I was doing all these hypnotherapy, counseling terminology, and you can just see people go blank. And when they go blank, they don't connect with you, they don't open. So it's all about um, thinking of all those sayings that we have in our language that mean something. So that's with the letters. And then I do have just some little like trinkets and things. I mean, again, there's a little there's a little rabbit, little rabbit. So that can mean like luck, so like rabbit's foot. I have a little cat. And these will all resonate differently for people in different levels, right? Because we're all different. We all have different ways of understanding things. And we all have, even if we're, no matter how open to these things you feel, we all have our signs and symbols that we resonate with. So, it could be the cat, as a symbol of, you would see as your spirit animal. And we all have numbers. So I also have a pack here, angel numbers. Oh, it's reversed. Angel numbers, and they all have different meanings. And this is when you think of like if you make an email or user account and you have to add a number, what number comes to mind for you? Or it could resonate. So a really great reading I did recently, it was talking about new beginnings, new change, new chapter. And the number I pulled, I think it was 21, 21, 21, divine guidance. And it was two of them. They both looked at each other, they're a family, and they said 21 is the number of our new house. So it's confirmation. It can be confirmation, it can be reassurance, it can be encouragement. It's whatever connects with the message altogether. So again, here's a pack that I'm just shoveling. I'm cleansing the energy. We'll do that one. We'll get some crystals, put them on top. Here we got next. So I'll sort out the icons. Yeah, there we go. What else could I talk about? I think that's about. I have a candle going. I have incense. I've got my sage. So yeah, all different ways to cleanse the energy, and obviously my energy itself, maintaining that positivity, that helps cleanse the energy. So yeah, that's just a oh, I'll keep clearing up here now. That's just a snippet of me and what you can expect. So if you're curious, definitely get in touch. We can do it online as well, so I'm very flexible in like how most comfortable you will be. So you can come to me, I can come to you, we can meet in the middle somewhere, we can, rent a wellness space, rent a room, or we can do it online. So there's various ways to do it, and it's the same with like the consultations. It could be just a quick conversation, very, high level of I want to quit smoking, something like that. Or we can make use of the tarot. We can see what the tarot says. And from there understand. So this one was so powerful. It was a really great example because there were several options and things that came up that we could explore. Different hypnosis techniques. There was a lot about connecting with self-love, connecting with your inner child. And when Six of Cups came up with memories, I did suggest about we could do a life regression where they connect with their younger self. And then Three of Swords came up, Affairs of the Heart. So again, that was confirmation of like connecting with your heart and self-love. However, this kind of then came up about actions. There was a balance. So then another hypnosis technique is what's known as timelines. So if you're stuck on making a decision for something, this can be a great way to explore your realities, the version of you that made both decisions. And then when you come back, you can see it really opens up things for you, because you quite often you'll find something, think, oh, is this what happens then if I make this decision? It just gives you like a better view of things, a higher view, more detail, more information, more feeling, more connecting with the heart. I'm really getting back into this reading. Oh my goodness, it was so good. I will leave it there. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was enjoyable to watch. Please do let me know how you found it and what else you'd like me to share. Take care.